The science of meditation. So here we are in the early stages of a new millennium, the 21st century, with global communications, trips to the moon, a permanent space station orbiting Earth, hundreds of satellites orbiting the Earth, travel to the other side of the Earth in less than 24 hours, heart transplants, mobile phones, instant face-to-face communication via the internet. We have come a long way as a humanity in the last 200 years. It's absolutely amazing, and we are to be congratulated. The next step forward for humanity now is not outer space, but inner space. We are on the verge of a breakthrough in consciousness that will make the changes that have occurred in the last 200 years pale in comparison. The vehicle for travelling into and navigating our way around this inner dimension of consciousness is the science of meditation. And the fuel for propelling ourselves into this inner world is the imagination. You have commenced a journey here with me, beginning with this book, that is going to not only transform your consciousness, but transform your life. It's very, very exciting. It all begins with the science of meditation. This journey that you have begun here is going to revolutionize your perceptions and understanding of time, space, matter, motion, and consciousness. Now, in order for us to progress together here upon this journey in consciousness, it's important to begin to perceive yourself as a center of consciousness surrounded by a sea of energy. You are basically a center of consciousness, focused in your conscious mind, expressing yourself through three bodies. Firstly, your etheric body, made up of 7 etheric centers within the body, 1 below the feet and 4 above the head. These 12 centers express the energies of your vitality, emotions or feelings, and your conscious choices and decisions through the nervous system, which galvanizes the body into action to carry out your will, intent, purpose, objective, and design. The more you think of yourself as a center of energy, expressing yourself as consciousness, utilizing an etheric, emotional, and mental body, the more correctly you are perceiving yourself as you truly are. You are a center of consciousness, expressing yourself in a sea of mental, emotional, and etheric energy. The etheric energy really operates and functions automatically, carrying out the will, intent, and purpose of the emotional and mental you. So you are really a conscious mind with a bunch of attitudes, beliefs, thoughts and feelings, making a series of decisions and choices. The tools that you use to propel these raw materials into events and conditions in your life through the etheric windows of expression that are your centers are your desire, imagination, and expectancy. And what is the result of all of this? Your reality. All the events and conditions of your life are being created by these raw materials. Attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, decisions and choices all create thought forms. These thought forms are propelled through their particular etheric center into physical expression as an event or condition in your life. The energies that propel them into expression are desire, imagination, and expectancy. You create your own reality is not just a metaphysical buzzword, it is the way that reality works. The sooner you can come to terms with this truth, the sooner you can take responsibility for all the events of your life, as painful as some of those events are. Once you take that giant step in your conceptual understanding and stop blaming God or luck or chance or fate for the conditions of your life, the sooner you can start taking back your power. You've been giving away your power to consciously create your reality in accordance and compliance with your will by seeking to blame that offender or that parent or that teacher or that ex-spouse or that boss who fired you. If they are really to blame, if they are really the origin of that pain or that failure, then only they can fix it. The more that you can forgive them, let them off the hook, the more you empower yourself to fix it. There are two ways that the events of your life are created: by consciously choosing or by subconsciously allowing. Now, I know that it is convenient to blame others for the fact that your life is not working, but the sooner that you can realize that you allowed those events to occur through a series of faulty beliefs that you held about yourself, the sooner you can take back your power to create a positive future. That's where the science of meditation comes into play. All these faulty beliefs that you hold about yourself are resident in the subconscious mind. It is charged with the task of creating consistency in your life conditions and events by ensuring that the thought forms that find expression in your life as events are consistent with those attitudes and beliefs. God is absolutely amazing. He has the creativity to ensure that all fingerprints are different, individual and unique. Criminals can be identified to a crime scene by their unique DNA. No two faces are the same. Space is so vast that 100 billion stars in a photo taken by a powerful telescope appear as a single dot, like one singular star. Yet all of this wonder and awe pales into insignificance when you start to understand the complexity of your creation. You are walking in a sea of energy, surrounded by an elliptical sphere of mental and emotional energy. These spheres are populated by millions of thought forms, all vying for the attention of your mind in order that they can unconsciously express themselves as an event in time and space, thereby advancing in evolution to become an electron. From there they can move into the mineral and plant kingdom. Wow! God does all this, yet you are not conscious of the whole process because it all happens in the realm of the unconscious mind and filtered through the subconscious mind. Well, your task now is to learn how to reprogram the subconscious mind consciously. This is your next step forward in your evolutionary development. The method of gaining access to the subconscious mind consciously is to alter your state of consciousness into a lower vibrational frequency called the alpha state, so that you can enter into trance. This is done using the science of meditation. I'm here to accompany you on this journey, to assist you to become a master of this ancient art. So sit back and relax, and we'll start a journey together into the inner realms and dimensions to explore firsthand some of the mysteries that God has scattered throughout the realm. You will need many qualities to become a master of this majestic science. You will definitely need persistence, courage, and determination. But most of all, you'll need a powerful imagination. So let's exercise that aspect of yourself by imagining that 35 years ago we met in the dream world and entered into a partnership. In that dream, you asked me for help to find your way home. I agreed to help you. Your side of the agreement was to go out into the outer world to gather experience through a variety of impacts upon your consciousness. These impacts, we knew, were sometimes going to be painful, but through it all and out of it all, you would prepare yourself to enter the gates of mystery. My task in the agreement was to explore the inner world of the psychic and the metaphysical. My task was not only to explore these inner worlds and dimensions, but to learn the lay of the land and unfold those many mysteries hidden therein. I was to become proficient through practice on a daily basis at the art of meditation, at the art of exploring those inner worlds. We have both come out of that dream and, for the last 35 years, explored our particular field of play. You, the outer world of events and conditions, me, the inner world of energies and causes. Now we meet again in another dream, through the agency of this book, to share our experiences and to pass on what we have learned from our separate journeys. There's a large perception about meditation within the collective consciousness of humanity, mainly gleaned from the teachings of Eastern philosophy, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc., that is a huge misconception. That is the perception that meditation is largely subdued passivity. Eastern philosophy basically subscribes to the idea that you go into meditation and once in a nice level of trance, imagine yourself at the water's edge and reflect upon a flame or reflect upon a truth or a part of your body, your navel for example, or a spot between the eyes. The idea is to be passive and receptive to any ideas that come to you. This type of meditation is suitable for adherents to those Eastern philosophies, but it's not suitable for those of us in the Western world who are pioneering and making the maps for the new age. This type of meditation is not a subdued passivity, but a dynamic activity. I meditate for 2 hours every day between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. And every moment of that 2 hours I am very, very busy doing things and going places. I travel into inner worlds and higher dimensions of consciousness. I'll share some of these techniques and methodologies with you as we proceed. I'm also limited by what I can reveal about these inner worlds in an introductory book of this nature. I go into a lot more depth about the nature of these inner dimensions in my online intensives, which you will be invited to participate in once you have explored the basics of this book. The place where all of this activity takes place is similar to our physical world, but also very different. In our space-time rule set, there is time and space with height, width and depth. If we want to transport our body to a place 100 meters away, we must walk across the intervening space. The inner world, where our meditation takes place, we have the concept of time and the concept of space, but if we wish to transport ourselves from one location to another, all we have to do is to imagine ourselves there, and we are instantaneously there. This is the emotional plane, where the tools of creation and communication are desire, intent, purpose, design, and imagination. This is the world that we find ourselves fully conscious within upon death. As soon as we drop off the physical body, we are immediately fully polarized in consciousness within our emotional body. We can still see things in the physical world, but only the emotional counterpart, and that is limited to our emotional attachment to that thing or person. At that point, we review all the events of the life just lived that we intend to utilize in the after-death state in order to gain experience and faculty. Once we've completed that review, which only takes a few moments, we then experience the emotional plane according to our belief and expectation. If we believed that at death we would find ourselves in hell with pitchforks and devils, etc., then that's exactly what we will experience. If we believe that we'll find ourselves in heaven with streets paved with gold and angels playing harps, that's exactly what we'll experience. In that world, we only have to imagine ourselves being on a beach in Hawaii, and we are instantly there, sun shining, breeze blowing, salt spray in the air. It will basically be indistinguishable from our experience in the physical world, except that the colours are brighter and more luminescent. After a while we grow tired of all these imagined realities that we're experiencing. At that point we allow inner guides to lead us into the lower mental world. We spend some time there utilising higher consciousness to review our past life. All the pain that we cause to others, we experience it ourselves, as if we were that person. Once we've reviewed that aspect of our past life, learning the lessons inherent in that experience, we then move on to the higher mental plane, the world of the soul. There we experience all the joy and happiness that we brought to others, but we experience them simultaneously because that dimension is outside of time and space altogether. In the lower mental plane and the emotional plane, there is the concept of time and the concept of space, so there we experience things sequentially. In the higher mental plane, however, there is no concept of time. Everything is happening simultaneously. But with our higher consciousness, we're still able to experience the fullness and richness of every soulful experience in that life without losing our focus also upon other events happening simultaneously. From there we consult with our higher self, soul and spirit to plan out our next incarnation. The main reason that I covered these details here is to let you get a picture of the functionality of the emotional and mental world, because this is the domain that you find yourself in the moment that you close your eyes and go into trance. In order to enter into that world, however, you must gain facility in the art of dissociating yourself from your etheric body, and this is where the science of meditation begins. The reason why you can't just close your eyes and be fully conscious in these inner dimensions of the emotional and lower mental world is that you have not ever developed the facility to function therein consciously, whilst in the physical body. When you were polarized in that world on your way down into matter, you were only functioning as elemental lives in the nature of thought forms. The seat of power there, you will recall, was in the unconscious mind. Your task now, as your next step in your evolution, is to go back into the unconscious mind through the agency of the subconscious mind. This will all be done consciously. It's taken you millions of years, however, to get to where you are today, so you're not going to master these inner worlds over the next 6 months. This is where the persistence and determination comes in. By finding your way to this book, you have indicated that you are ready to take your next step forward in your evolutionary development. Don't expect it to be simple, however. If you think that this material is complex, wait till you get into my online intensives. In them, I lift you into a higher state of consciousness very rapidly. Even by reading this book, however, you have stepped into spiritual university. You'll quickly come to an understanding that these inner worlds and dimensions are very complex, and as you gradually expand your consciousness, you are finding your way into an understanding and a perception of ever-expanding complexity. Your first task, however, is to be able to develop the art of dissociating yourself from your etheric body. Now, what you have to remember is that you have had 50,000 thoughts a day for decades. The 3 lower centers of your body, the centers below the diaphragm, are highly populated gateways, populated by many powerful thought forms waiting to attract your attention and hence your desire. That way they can express themselves as an event in time and space. When you close your eyes to go into meditation, these thought forms can be likened to 50 dogs, all barking to get your attention because they are hungry and they want you to feed them. So here you are, trying to focus your attention, trying to get some inner peace and quiet, with all these dogs snapping at your heels. The first task, therefore, in order to enter into this inner world of emotions and thoughts, is to detach yourself from your etheric body. This etheric body is that aspect of yourself that keeps you focused and rooted in the physical space-time rule set. This stage of meditation is called relaxation. Now, the key word in order to reach a deep level of detachment from your etheric body is presence. You'll find this word coming back into your consciousness time and time again in your quest to master this science of meditation. I'll explain presence this way. You are in your living room with your spouse. He or she is watching their favourite TV program. You proceed to tell them about your tough day at work. They are responding by saying, uh-huh, while still watching their show. They are acting as if they have heard everything that you said, but when you ask them for their opinion on your complex problem at work that has taken you 10 minutes to explain, they respond by saying, "I'm sorry, darling, what did you say?" You then realise that they haven't heard a word that you said. They were too engrossed with their TV show. They were not present in consciousness. Well, that's what the first stage of meditation can be like. It becomes ritual, technique, routine, but not much presence, not much attention, focus, and awareness about the function of relaxing. I always found it difficult to enter a deep trance whilst sitting, so very early in my meditation process, 35 years ago, I thought I'd try meditating lying down. I was able to get into a trance much quicker that way, but I must admit my initial few attempts I did fall asleep. So the first thing to do in order to dissociate yourself from your etheric body is to repeat these words to yourself whilst in a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. Now you say these words inside your mind, not out aloud. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Relax, relax, relax. In and out. Relax, relax, relax. Just breathe normally now. In a moment I'm going to relax each part of my body, starting with the feet and ending with the face. With each part of my body that I relax, I'll go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, into a deeper state of relaxation, into a deeper state of meditation, into a deep trance condition. By the time I relax my face, I'll be in a deep trance condition. From that position, I'll have dialogue with myself. I'll be able to give myself suggestion. I'll be able to act on those suggestions beginning now. So once again, this is not stated out aloud, but inside your mind. That is the typical induction. And then you carry on with the induction. Relax your toes, toes relaxed. Relax your heels, just let go. Relax your ankles, ankles relaxed. Going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Relax your calves, calves relaxed. Relax your knees. Let all the energy drain out of your knees. Relax your thighs, thighs relaxed. It's a wonderful feeling to just let go. Relax your whole pelvic girdle, stomach and solar plexus, chest and upper back, going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Relax your hands and your arms, shoulders and your neck. Relax your face and relax your mind. Now that is the basic induction that you're going to be using on a day-by-day basis. Now it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, I've got this down pat, I'll just take a couple of deep breaths and just say total relaxation, and then you're going to hope that you'll be in a nice deep state of trance and can go on from there. But don't fall into this trap. And another thing is you're going to think, oh, well, I want a bit of variety here, and so therefore you vary the words around and the technique around with your own imagination. This is another trap. The subconscious mind doesn't have choice. If you put conflicting inductions to it, it doesn't follow it as powerfully as if you use the same words every time. I've used these words for 35 years and I never vary it, and it always works, and there's no shortcuts even after 35 years. Now what you have to remember is that all of your powerful thought forms built up over the decades are vying for your attention. This will manifest as a wandering mind. You're going to learn that controlling the emotions and your mind and directing it to the task at hand here is not an easy task. It will perhaps take months of practice on a daily basis just to get yourself into a nice deep state of trance. The secret to becoming successful at the art of meditation is regularity. If you're serious about exploring these inner worlds, commit yourself to spending 10 to 15 minutes daily every day, but no more for the first few months. And every time your mind wanders, pull it back onto the task of focus. That's the way to get the message through to your subconscious mind of your intent and purpose. After a while, your subconscious mind becomes an ally, in the task of attaining a nice deep level of trance. What I'm saying to you here is very important. The message that I'm trying to convey to you is that you are a spiritual being. You are not a physical being with an option of being spiritual if you want to. You are a piece of God, a piece of the whole. As a piece, you have all of the properties, all of the qualities, and all of the powers of God inside of yourself now. Your task is to recognize that fact and unfold those powers. The whole purpose of life is spiritual, to keep on striving to become more of who you really are. The whole world is a giant spiritual classroom. Your higher self and your soul and all the beings from higher dimensions are trying to convey a message to you. The world you are experiencing does not have to be one of crisis and struggle. It can be one of magic and miracles. We call upon you to bend every effort of the will to become all that you can be and more. We are waiting here, just out of reach, trying to encourage you to keep on reaching, keep on stretching. You can do it. You can learn to control the mind and the emotions. When you do develop that skill, the riches of the universe will be yours. I know what they are saying is true. I will not lead you astray. Every day in my meditations, I travel into these higher dimensions and inner worlds. The experience is not something that I can share with you in this introductory book. It's not something that can be readily explained. It has to be experienced. It's like trying to describe to someone the difference between the smell of a rose and the smell of a gardenia. You can't do it. It's something that they must experience personally to be able to say, got it. It may sound very tedious, but your task is to tame all those barking dogs who are snapping at your heels, demanding that you feed them. You can't destroy those thought forms that are vying for your attention, but you can change them from negative beliefs, attitudes, thoughts and feelings to positive ones designed to support you in your quest coming home. You are a giant spiritually. The fact that you have found your way to my book is no accident. There are no accidents in the universe. Everything happens according to God's laws. It is your destiny to find your way home into the world of the soul. Christ said 2,000 years ago, it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. He was talking in metaphor and symbol. The meaning behind his words were that it's not possible for a man or woman to enter into the higher mental plane, the world of the soul, with a whole collection of thought forms of this world, with powerful thoughts and habit patterns of lust, greed, envy, avarice, anger, shame, anxiety, depression, fear, and self-pity. You have to check in this baggage at the door. You can't fool the system. The only way that you can enter that world is via the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind doesn't have choice. It's designed to mirror your predominant thoughts and feelings perfectly without question. You can't fool the system. All thought forms have a resonant vibration. You can't disguise them, stuff them into your subconscious mind, and hope to bluff your way past the guards on the gateway into the world of the soul. You must work to transform those beliefs over a period of time by A. Cease entertaining and creating those type of thoughts and feelings that represent your self-destructive thoughts. B. Work actively at mastering the science of meditation, because the express lane into the subconscious mind is through this majestic science. The first stage is relaxation, gradually, over a period of time, controlling the direction of your mind so it becomes in phase, like a laser beam. Whilst your mind is scattered, constantly being distracted here and there by the barking dogs of your negative emotions, you are not even able to get into first base in meditation, that is, a nice deep state of trance. Once you have attained this capacity to bring your mind and emotions into a coherent state, then you are able to enter stage 2 of meditation, which is to enter into the emotional world and construct, using the faculty of your imagination, a place apart. This is a safe place in the emotional world, constructed by your imagination and containing various pieces of furniture, metaphorically speaking, that are aids in your journey coming home. We'll cover this second phase of meditation in a separate chapter that follows this one. This chapter on meditation has laid the groundwork for understanding the nature of the mental plane and some prerequisite information to beginning your journey coming home. This first stage of meditation is a vital first step on your journey of becoming a master practitioner of this ancient art. The secret to getting into a good level of relaxation, and hence a good deep level of trance, is to have presence. That means when you are saying the preamble or induction lines to yourself, in a moment I'm going to relax each part of my body, starting with the feet, and make it real. Be aware of what you are saying. Be conscious of the things that you are saying and put meaning into the words. The whole induction process is a test of your presence. Are you really there in consciousness, or is it just a rote statement that you have learnt off by heart, like some school prayer that you recite each day with the class from memory, while your mind is really on the cartoons you watched before coming to school? Thought forms only have power according to the power of the attention of your mind, your presence or your ability to make it real. So practice taming the mind. It's like an errant child. It wanders all over the place. If you think it's hard to control the mind at this early stage of meditation, wait till you actually progress into the world of the soul. As you take in more and more knowledge from this book, and then perhaps from my online intensives, your awareness expands. Awareness and consciousness are identical terms, so an expanded awareness means an expanded consciousness. The more conscious you are, the more energy you have coursing through your centres, from the planets, from the sun, and from the earth itself. This reflects itself as a higher level of intelligence. Therefore, if you just keep on expanding your understanding without controlling the mind and making it coherent or in phase, then it eventually becomes self-defeating, leading to chaos. Every step of the way in the induction process, you have to discipline the mind and pull it back to the task at hand. Making it real means that you are fully present in consciousness with every statement that you make to yourself. When you say, relax your toes, toes relaxed, you actually have to feel the etheric energy that comprises your toes departing or oozing out of your toes. The result of this is that your toes become very relaxed. Relax your heels, just let go, has meaning and purpose behind the words. It's not just a rote statement that you make from memory and cleverly learned to recite to yourself. If you are really present, then the etheric energy that interpenetrates your heels will dislodge itself, thereby bringing relaxation to your heels. It's the same with every part of your body that you relax. It's no good fooling yourself, thinking that you are in control of your mind, but really you are not present. Do it right from the very beginning, and you are on your way to becoming a master of this amazing science of meditation. Just realize that every part of your etheric body is made up of an elemental life that has not yet made it into the mineral kingdom. It will obey your command. They are moved to action by the will of a thinker. That thinker is you. You are the boss. They will faithfully carry out your will, but your mind has to be focused upon the task at hand. Otherwise your etheric elementals are like a dog who is being called by you and also your partner who is 50 meters away from you. You call the dog by name, come here, and then your partner calls, come here. The dog doesn't know which order to obey. Your elemental lives that make up each part of your etheric body are in a similar position if your conscious mind is not completely present. Do they listen to the default settings that is set in the unconscious mind, infuse the heels with vitality, or do they obey your command to vacate the heels? There's no doubt about it, training the mind to stay focused, aware, coherent, and in phase is a task that you will find to be the greatest challenge that you've ever faced. Now you're getting a glimpse of the steps that you need to take in order to master this ancient art. Meditation is a lot more complex than just closing your eyes and meditating upon a flame. Most of the teachings on meditation just say close your eyes and do it, and that's about it. Very important to understand the inner workings of consciousness and thought forms so that you know what energies and forces that you're dealing with. It is an active journey in consciousness into the exciting inner world of the emotional and lower mental planes. It is the gateway to entering the higher mental plane, the world of the soul. You won't get there, however, through passive contemplation. There's an old saying that the kingdom of heaven can only be taken by storm. That means by conscious will, determination, persistence, courage, and imagination. This is just the beginning of our journey together into these inner worlds. In the next chapter, we'll look at stage 2 of the science of meditation, building your safe place. Conquer this ancient science and you will gain the riches of the universe. That is a metaphor, meaning that you will learn the secrets that allow you to magically create your reality in accordance and compliance with your will. The journey is a long one, but the keys to unlock and explore these inner dimensions of reality are there to be found by those who become masters of the science of meditation. The two keys to success are persistence in controlling the mind to focus on the task at hand each time it tries to wander to other things, and regularity in your daily ritual of 15 minutes meditation every day. Do this faithfully over a period of weeks and you are on your way to a state of trance that facilitates conscious entry into the emotional world. From there you can construct your safe place, which is your launch pad into the higher dimensions.